the Babylonian Talmud. The Babylonian Talmud, the exegetes, or those kind of
man can be betrothed to a child.
What does that mean to you?
Who has not yet reached.
We have a stronger thing than that. We say you're not allowed to cause harm to yourself as well as other people.
Man can be betrothed to a child.
What does that mean to
Who
you?
has not yet reached puberty.
All right, so in Islamic law, as I said to you before, Islamic law, the nikah is a contract. It is a business contract, actually.
Okay.
Ibn Qudamah, he refers to it as a business contract in his Kitab al-Nikah and the Kitab Mughni. In the sense that now there are rights but that are being put both ways, yeah? And nikah is not necessarily talking about the fully fledged marriage, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً in Surah Al-Rum, where He's put between your hearts love and mercy, and it's like a fully fledged situation where you have full rights. Now, nikah can be done ad hoc way, and yes, in that situation, that nikah, and I'm going to use the Arabic terminology, that can be done, but we said that when that person now becomes of adult age, they're free.
Okay, which is when?
Puberty.
So as soon as a person reaches puberty, they're an adult. That's what you're saying, yes?
Yeah, so it depends on what culture we're talking about. Because in Usul Fiqh, there's something called al-urf. So Islamic law is not just what you find in the Quran and Sunnah. There's also other what you call masadr of tashri'ah. So for example, one of those is al-urf, which is culture. One of the principles of Islamic law is al-urf muhakkam, that culture dictates what kind of action is to be taken. So everything is contextual. If, for example, a nation, let's say it's a Muslim nation, they decide to put the minimum age of marriage, nikah, as a particular age, then that has to be respected, because if it's not respected, that would be disobedience to the authorities, which is Islam disallows, and can actually issue punishments for. So depending on what the culture dictates, if we're talking about let's say, 21st century culture in the Muslim world, then quite frankly, I mean, it can happen like that,
So in terms of like reaching puberty, so in terms of like girls, as soon as she starts menstruating, you're saying then she's old enough to be married?
No, I haven't said that.
I'm asking a question.
No. I said that even before puberty, the nikah can be put in place.
Yes, okay.
But when she gets to an age where she's able now to have intercourse...
Okay, well that's different. That's different from actually just reaching the stage of actually menstruating.
No, I agree with that.
Because there are many Muslims...
No, I agree with that.
There are many Muslims who will say, as soon as she starts menstruating, then she's ready.
Definitely
there are many who say
Yeah, that's wrong.
Hence the reason why you have so many child brides throughout the Islamic world.
But we have to define what we mean by child
do not
bride.
survive much beyond the wedding day.
Right, exactly. So if that, no, I'm not. First of all, I'd like to see this. I'd like to see the stats for that, because I think there's more evidence of that by way of Western culture than there is in the Middle East.
No, but you're talking about Western.
We're talking about America, for example, where this happens quite. We're talking about Holland, where in the red light district there's.
In certain states in
we're
America,
talking about
7 years
UK,
old.
where there's a slavery act. Which, well, by the way, sorry, we're talking about UK, which is a slavery act. Which in that act it says it gives us a statistics of how many girls that are under whatever age are human trafficked and sold into whatever. We're talking about white men. Sorry to white English, English men. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but they go to Thailand and buy a boy or something.
We all know that's wrong, and we all know that's evil.
But what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, you've made a sociological point.
I made a theological point.
Which
is your religion. Your religion.
What's your name?
You can call me Ado.
Ado.
Yeah.
You made a sociological point when you said that in the Muslim world, you said this way, you said in the Muslim world, hold on. You said in the Muslim world, there are many girls who don't survive the first night.
Correct.
I'm saying that I would like to see what statistics you are citing, because we actually have statistics in the West that indicate to us the extent to which human trafficking is actually a thing.
Yeah.
In this country, for example, I cited the Slavery Act. There are statistics that show how many people, by the way, women, and if you look at the Slavery Act and how many girls are under a certain age are human trafficked in this country and the West in general, you'll find that a lot of them come from other parts of the world. Like, for example, from Poland, we're talking about from Africa and so on. So why, I don't know what this hyperfixation of talking about the Muslim world is, when it's happening on our doorsteps that people are being literally sold.
It is.
Probably in your area, in London.
I agree. I totally agree. The difference is this. The people who are doing that, whether they're traveling to Thailand, whether it's happening on my doorstep, those people, by and large, are not saying, I'm doing this because I have the green light from Almighty God. Whereas, throughout the Islamic world, there are many people, many men who marry child brides because they take the example from the Islamic prophet, him himself taking a child bride, and therefore they're saying that's the difference.
Okay, well, hold on. The example of the Islamic prophet was there was a respite period. So why did he, if this was the case where you could just marry whatever age you want, why didn't he just consummate the marriage as soon as he married her? Why did he wait 3 years?
All I'm saying
is can you answer this question?
No, hold on. I'll come to it in a second. I'm just saying that they're following the so-called prophet, the Islamic prophet. They're following his example.
I've responded to that by saying, if they were following the Islamic prophet, the thing is, with this, the issue here, the issue of, you're talking about marriage.
Yes.
We're saying, here's my stance on the matter. Let me be very clear about it. When it comes to fully fledged understanding, conventional understanding of marriage, where intercourse is understood as well, we say so long as it causes harm, it should be stopped. That's my understanding. Now you may ask, who gets to define harm? Because that's a very valid question. I say the specialists get to define harm. How do I prove that from the Islamic paradigm? I prove that through two evidences. One of them is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلِ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people of specialism if you don't know. And the other one is in the hadith of the Prophet, where he says, مَنْ تَطَبَّبَ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ بِالطِّبِّ مَعْرُوفًا فَأَصَابَ نَفْسًا فَهُوَ ضَامِنٌ. That whoever acts as a doctor and he's not known as a doctor and he harms somebody, then he's responsible. Therefore, my understanding is, if somebody is physically and psychologically capable of intercourse, whatever age that is, I don't see it as an immoral thing for that person to engage in a fully fledged relationship. Now, the West has confused itself as to what that age should be. Some parts of the West say it should be 14 years old. Some say no, it should be 15 years old. Historically, went back to 10. Delaware had a 7, by the way. Delaware, that's 100 years ago. Delaware, the state in America, the age of marriage was 7. In 1929 in this country, the Marriage Act changed the age of consent from 12 to 16. Now we believe pedophilia is, sorry Ado, let me just continue. We believe pedophilia is anyone that has sex with someone under the age of 16. I'm saying to you that this is a very recent contemporary phenomena. Now what I'm proposing is that if we want to call something almost a psychological disorder, which is pedophilia, right? Psychological disorder, it must have, interestingly, in the psychological literature, it's not actually this. Psychological literature, the way they define children is not the way that the law defines children. So when one looks at the historical record, the psychological literature, the medical literature, we'll find that actually there isn't a age which is fixed that says this age is where you become a pedophile and this age is where you become a normal member of society. So if you're in Russia and you have a 14-year-old sexual partner, you're following if you had the same exact setup in the UK, you're a sex offender. Yeah. We say that's an unusual way of labeling the public. We say that's an unscientific manner of which you're dealing with this situation. And we would say it's upon you to show that whoever it is that's making the argument that it should be 16 and not say 15 and not say 14. And I would go further than this and say it could also be noted that you can have people over the age of 16 that from the Islamic perspective it would be not allowed to marry them. For example, if you have a 17-year-old girl but she's, let's say, malnourished, or she has a sexual some kind of ailment or something like that, or a man that has a disease or whatever it is, it would be immoral from an Islamic perspective for that man to be in a sexual relationship, even though it's over the age of 16. Like I said to him before, if I have intercourse, well, not me or somebody else, some big man has an intercourse with a centurion, what's it called, centurion, like a 100-year-old person, having sex, this and that, hold the clavicle, go, I could kill the person. Now, according to this law, nothing would happen. I can have sex with a 100-year-old, 90-year-old, 80-year-old. I can go into the old folks' home and close the door and do what I want. I'm just saying that the idea is flawed when you say, for example, let me ask you a question. Let me be honest. Let me ask you. A 15-year-old woman, with big hips and a strong body, who would be harmed the more in a sexual intercourse? Her or a 100-year-old woman who's in her last days of her life?
You're deflecting. We're talking about children. We know that puberty starts at different ages for different people.
I'm not talking about puberty.
Know this.
I'm talking about harm.
I'm talking about that because it's relevant to what we're saying.
I'm
know
saying
that changes depending on the person. So some people may reach the age of puberty at 13. Some people may reach the age of puberty at 16. We know this. But we're saying that.
But I'm not mentioning puberty either. I didn't say I said harm, by the way.
Well, I'm mentioning it.
Okay, fine.
So the point is, the reason why, in the context of this conversation and asking questions, I said there are many Muslims who say that as soon as a girl starts menstruating, then she's ready.
Okay, but as I said, the Prophet goes against this because the Prophet ﷺ, he said in the hadith, "La darar wa la dirar." There is no harming or reciprocating harm. This is a general principle in Islam. In fact, the usulis, the people who are specialists in principles of jurisprudence, they say one of the guiding principles of Islam is ad-dararu yuzal, that harm is to be averted. And by the way, Shatibi, who is seen master of this topic, which wrote a book called Muwafaqat in the 8th century, he said that principles in Islam, or qawaid, are more encompassing than individual evidence. And you may say, how could it be the case that a principle is stronger than an evidence, like a Quran Sunnah evidence? He said because the principle is composed of many evidences. So the fact that one of the principles of Islam is that harm is to be averted is not just something that liberals say, the harm principle, by the way. So you could do whatever you want. So we have a stronger thing than that. We say you're not allowed to cause harm to yourself as well as other people. So what we're saying is this, is that all of the scenarios you're bringing are situations where harm is caused. I'm saying any situation where it can be established beyond a reasonable doubt that any harm is caused, and that can be said by specialists of that area, we would say it's haram to do it. Haram.
Is that physical and psychological?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both, yeah?
It is, well, it is haram, but the point is that there are many child brides within the Islamic world because of following the example of your Prophet.
Okay, can you give me some examples and stats, please?
There are plenty of child brides.
And then where?
Then you try to make the parallel between what's happening about human trafficking in the West. In the West. That's what you're trying to make.
I'm asking,
the point is in the West, they're not claiming to be following God.
Okay.
All right? Okay. We're talking about people who are doing this because they're following the example.
Can you give me some examples?
Wait, let me finish.
Give me some examples.
Well, let me finish.
Yeah.
Because of what Islam says, that Mohammed is the greatest example to all humankind.
Okay.
A man who married a 6-year-old girl.
Okay. Well, as I said to you before, he didn't have intercourse with her
until she was 9.
Well, that's the point. The point is, why did he wait? The question is, why did he wait? My question is, why did he wait?
Is that a virtue for him to wait until she was 9?
No. Why did he wait?
When did she start?
Why did he wait?
Why did he wait? I don't know why he waited. You tell me why he waited.
Why doesn't it? Because the idea that you're trying to spring forward to us today, hold on, is that you're making the argument that Islam encourages.
Following the example of
the Prophet Muhammad and therefore people get married to youngsters who are harmed because they're following. Now I'm saying to you, I've already explained the evidences that the Prophet himself disallowed harm. Okay, we've also got an additional evidence that Aisha waited 3 to 4 years actually. Yeah. Now my question is
9.
Okay, my question is, if it was unrestricted, then why wait? By the way, just let me tell you something. In the 4 schools of Islamic thought, by the way, there's ijma', there's consensus that you cannot be an adult before the age of 9, and that you are an adult at the age of 15. That's where the thing is. So from between 9 and 15, we say that's where adulthood is. Okay, so between 9 and 15. Just because we have a different understanding of what adulthood is, it doesn't mean to say that the West is right. Now my question is now, we're saying it can be anywhere between 9 and 15.
Yeah.
9 and 15. Now, but having said that, even if a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old is physically incapable of giving rights of the husband or the wife, if it's a male or female, depending on what they are, if they're physically incapable, then they would not be allowed to get into. If they do get into a marriage, then they would be sinful. The community will be sinful. The persons who know that they have this baggage with them is sinful. Everyone is sinful. So what I'm saying is that you're saying that Islam allows something. I'm saying that Islam denies it, and that there's strong evidence. In fact, I would like to know anything as restrictive as Islam. I would like to know. I would like to know anything as restrictive. Because look at the Bible, for example. Hold on. You mentioned the Quran. My point is that if you look at the Bible, there's nothing that restricts that. In fact, in the book of Numbers, you're a Christian, right? You got the cross, right? In the book of Numbers, chapter number 31, verse number 18. It's mentioned that Moses, when he goes into the nation, that you can take the young girls for yourself. Now, according to the Babylon Talmud, according to the Talmud of the Jews, they said that taking the young girls for yourself were girls that had never known a man yet, by the way. These girls, by the way, had been understood for thousands of years by Jewish people to be girls that can be enslaved by men, okay? There's no abrogation of this anywhere in the Bible. So my scriptures, as I've just mentioned to you, disallow the harm that is caused by the sexual intercourse. Your scriptures have no such disallowance.
But the reality is that many girls are harmed.
Okay, you're making
because
the same point.
Because they're following the example
Are you
of
saying
their
that
brother.
the
Many girls are. That's the reality.
Okay.
Many girls are being harmed.
Yeah. Okay.
Throughout the Islamic world.
I'm making a scriptural argument right now.
Okay. Throughout the Islamic world, many girls are being harmed because of this.
Okay.
Within Christianity, we follow the example of Jesus.
Okay.
That's what the example we're following.
Okay.
Now, Islam says that Muhammad is the greatest example for all humankind.
Okay.
I'm saying that Jesus Christ
Okay, great.
wait, let me finish.
Of course.
Is the greatest example for all humankind. Whereas even the Quran says that Jesus never sinned. Even the Quran says that Jesus was born of a miracle.
Okay, brother, let me ask you a question.
But
Yeah.
was Muhammad without sin? No, he wasn't.
Okay, that's what you're saying. But here's what I'm saying.
No. I'm saying what the Quran says.
No,
the
it does-
Quran,
it
the
does
Quran
say.
says that Jesus was without sin.
Okay, look, we agree
So
that
I'm
he was without
saying
sin.
that Jesus is the greatest example for all
Oh,
you
humankind.
no,
following Jesus
no,
as
please,
an
bro,
example?
1 second. Let me come back, right?
Go on.
My question to you is this, yeah? Do you believe that having sex with a child, in your understanding of it, someone who's, let's say, prepubescent and incapable, that we both agree that that person is a child, both of us would agree, right? A 4-year-old, for example, a 5-year-old. We all agree a 5-year-old is a child, a 6-year-old is a child. Okay.
Yes.
Having sex with that age, yeah? Do we both agree that that's immoral? That's wrong?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Do we agree that it's immoral in all times and all places?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's,
I would say that was wrong. Yes.
yeah, okay, it's wrong in all times and places. Now, Jesus Christ, you believe in the Trinity, correct?
I believe in the God of the Bible.
Right. So Jesus Christ is part of a triune Godhead, correct?
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Which means he's the author of the Old Testament, correct?
Right. Okay.
Correct. So if he's the author of the Old Testament, he is the one in the book of. Wait, let me finish. He's the one in the book of Numbers, chapter 31, verse number 18, that's telling the people to take the young girls for yourself. So was Jesus Christ, who you say is who you say is the guide, who you
He
say
is the example.
He's the example.
There you
go.
Okay.
That's
all right.
Okay.
He's
So
the example.
No problem. Jesus Christ, who is the example, who is the
He is the
guide,
example.
who's the one without sin, he commanded to sin, correct?
He did not command to sin.
So wait a minute. So where it says in Numbers chapter 31 verse 18, is it a sin or not?
Listen, I'm not saying that you're allowed to do that at all.
So
I'm
Jesus
saying
was
you can't
wrong?
go- No, I'm not saying Jesus was wrong.
So what is it then? It's dilemma, isn't it?
No, Jesus is right.
So Jesus is right to have sex with the girls,
No,
young ones?
I'm not saying that. Does he say have sex with them?
You can
Does
take
he
them for
say?
yourself.
Does
Take
he
them for
say
yourself.
have sex with them?
Take them for yourself.
Take them for yourself. Does
Yeah.
it say have sex
What are
with
you
them?
going to do?
What are you gonna do with them?
Does it say have sex with them?
You can do more than have sex.
Does it say have sex with them?
You can do more than
It
that.
doesn't say have sex with them.
You can
But
do
the
more than
point,
that.
the point is, with your prophet, we know that he married a 6-year-old girl. Let me
but
finish.
you're-
You've done most of the talking.
Okay, go ahead, please.
He married her when she was 6, and we know that he consummated. I won't even call it a marriage.
You don't have to call it anything.
Yeah.
You just said
We know that he
you
had
agree
sex.
that.
We know that he had sex with her when she was 9.
Listen, I've just no problem. I'm saying to you this.
No, it is a problem. It is a
to you it's a
problem.
problem.
No, it is. Of course, it's a problem.
Okay,
It is a
okay.
problem
No
for me,
problem.
and it's a problem for a lot of people in the world.
No problem.
But
It should
it
be
is
a
a
problem.
problem.
So what?
It's a problem for
so-
grown
so-
men having sex with a 9-year-old
So
girl.
Jesus was wrong to say to. Well, hold on. Jesus.
I've already said it doesn't
what's
say
it-
go and have sex.
What does it say?
It doesn't say. You just
Take
said
them for
that-
yourself. We're gonna
Take
do with
them for
them.
yourself.
We're gonna do with them.
It doesn't say have sex.
What are you gonna do with them?
It doesn't say
What are you
have
gonna do with them?
sex.
What are you gonna do with them?
It
Can you
doesn't say have sex.
Can you have sex?
But we know that
Can you
your
have sex with them?
prophet,
Can you have
your
sex?
prophet did have sex
Ado,
with a
can-
9-year-old girl.
Ado, according-
Simple as that.
Ado,
we
according-
know that your prophet
You're not answering
did
my
have
question.
sex.
You're not answering my
we know that. I've already said. I've answered it when I said it doesn't
Ado,
say.
Ado.
It doesn't say have sex.
I'm saying, are you allowed? Is allowance given?
It doesn't say
Is
have
allowance
sex.
given, yes or no?
I don't know. It doesn't say have sex.
Ah!
I don't know. But here's the reality. What we know. No problem.
It doesn't know.
The reality, what we do know is that your prophet had sex with a 9-year-old
No,
girl.
What we
That's
do
what
know
we
is
do
you're
know.
throwing stones in a glass house.
No, I'm not throwing stones at all.
So you just said
I'm speaking out against anybody, any grown man who has sex.
So
with a
Jesus,
child.
your God, was wrong
So if
when
the
he was saying
Bible
having
says,
sex.
if the Bible says that, then we can see for ourselves.
All right, so is it right or wrong?
So get it out and tell me. Take
I don't need to get it out. Yes.
Okay.
Take the young ones for yourself.
Okay.
Young ones.
Okay.
Young ones that have never known a man.
Never known a man.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Okay. So what are you gonna do?
Does it say have sex with them?
That's allowance. According to hold on.
do you think they're gonna do with them?
They've never known a man.
Hold on. Here's where you're cornered. With all due respect, yeah. Listen to me.
Does it
Okay,
say
let
have
me
sex
speak.
with them there and
I
there?
know you're
Hold on
getting
a second.
triggered.
No,
You're getting triggered. You're getting triggered now.
Does it say have sex
Let
with
me
them
speak.
there and
Why
there?
does it
Let me
mention
speak.
that
Let me
they've
speak.
never
Let me speak. Let me speak. I'm not saying that it says have sex.
Sorry? You said something. You said something. Can you repeat? Can you repeat it again?
I don't listen.
He said something in my ear.
Okay. I don't listen to me. Listen.
No,
to me.
but
I have not said that you can have sex. You go command. I'm saying it's giving allowance. Do you understand?
That's what you're saying.
Hold on.
That's what you're saying.
Are you making the claim that in Islam it says you have to have sex with a child?
I'm making the claim that your prophet married a
No,
six-year-old.
okay.
that's the claim I'm making.
So good.
And therefore,
good. So it's not.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
So let me finish.
Nine.
And
You said six.
therefore,
Yeah.
as it's claimed that he's the greatest example for humankind.
No problem.
There is a problem.
Is that immoral? Immoral.
There are many people in the Islamic world who see that as a green light to get married to a child
problem.
and then have sex with
Is that
a
your
child.
argument?
He then had sex with a 9-year-old girl.
Okay, I got it.
He had a
I've got
9-year-old girl.
I've got it. My response to you is this. You've listened to this. Very interesting, yeah? He said, he agreed with me, Ado agreed, that the Bible is authored by the Trinity. That Jesus is part of the Trinity. The Old Testament is part of the Bible. Therefore, Jesus, he agreed, is the author of the Old Testament. Now, in that, we also said, Jesus is the author of the Old Testament, yeah? That's all been agreed. Now, we looked at Numbers, chapter number 31, verse number 18. And it says, the young ones who have never known a man, take them for yourself. Talking about girls. Young girls that have never known a man, young ones, never, now. He said that now, with Islam, men in the Middle East, I don't know what country he's talking about, they take the Prophet as a guide.
Numerous Islamic countries.
Okay, numerous Islamic countries.
Okay.
No problem. We said that. He hasn't been... Yeah, you know, hunches and anecdotes, but no problem. Hunches and anecdotes.
It isn't an anecdote.
No,
it's well documented.
Well documented.
There are girls who die as a result.
Okay, no problem.
So it's well documented.
Let me finish. Now, the Talmud, which is the jurisprudential text of the Jewish people, for example...
Not the word of God.
Let me finish what I'm saying. If your argument is that this book is leading this action, my counter-argument to you, that the Babylonian Talmud and there's two major Talmuds, the Jerusalem Talmud and the Babylonian Talmud. The Babylonian Talmud, the exegetes, or those you can call them spiritual leaders, that were making a reference to chapter 31, verse 18 of Numbers, they understood it as having sex with young girls, taking them as slaves and having sex with them. My question to him was, before, is it wrong in any time and place to have sex with young girls? He said yes. Now, if Jesus is the one who is commanding something which is allowing sex with young girls...
It doesn't mention sex.
Hold on.
It doesn't mention sex.
Hold on. But no, that's... Hold on.
It doesn't mention sex.
Hold on. He said something which people understood, the primary audience. He's saying it's about guidance. How about people understood it sociologically? Well, then the same argument could be made about the Jews. They understood it as what? As having sex with young girls. If that is the case, that an injunction of a text that can be understood in a manner which would have the net effect of leading to sex with young girls, then that's exactly happened with chapter 31, verse 18.
How many of the Jewish prophets had sex with young girls?
Listen, no, that's not that. You're changing the goalpost.
It isn't
You're changing the goalpost.
I'm not.
You're changing the goalpost.
No, I'm not.
You're changing the goalpost.
How many? If Moses
You're changing the goalpost.
Moses is the author of Numbers.
Why would it mention that?
Moses is the author
the
of
question
Numbers.
you just had.
No, but if you leave that for now. Yeah.
Moses is the author of Numbers.
Okay?
Did Moses marry a child? How many of the Old Testament prophets got married to children? I'm not changing the goalpost.
You are changing
your prophet married a child.
Okay,
you
keep saying that. Your God.
I can say it.
Stop. Please. Stop.
3-year-old.
No, thank you.
How many of these prophets? My response is.
How many of these prophets in the Old Testament married children?
My question is.
That's my question. That's my question.
Okay, you can argue Isaac. You can argue that. But why?
Isaac got married to
who? You can argue.
A 3-year-old.
Did he?
Where'd you get that from?
Him? Please.
Him? He did not get married to a 3-year-old. Hold on a second. Rebecca was not 3 years of age.
Listen.
Hold on.
Lot had sex with his daughters.
Hold on.
According to the Bible.
Okay.
Lot had sex with his daughters. Is that okay?
Was not 3 years of age.
Wait, hold on.
She was feeding the camel.
Lot had sex with his daughters in the Bible.
He did. Was it right?
No, we say this.
Was it right?
Your understanding.
No, but was it right?
We don't believe in it.
Was it right? Was he right? Was he right to do that?
We don't believe in that happened.
No, okay. I'm saying that the Bible says
you're all
that
over the place, Ado. You're all over the place.
You just cited.
You just asked me a question.
Cited.
Ado, excuse me. You just asked the question, how many prophets of the Old Testament married a child?
Yes.
I'm saying, okay, so what is your, this has a...
To answer that question?
This has a presupposition that the prophets in the Old Testament are depicted in a manner which is morally acceptable. I said, okay, are you talking about the same Old Testament that says that Lot had sex with his daughters, or the same Old Testament in the book of Genesis where Noah came out naked in front of Ham? By the way, Ham.
Was it right? My question. I'll get back to my question.
Let me finish.
Was it right?
Let me finish.
No. I've let you finish. Was it right?
Do you want to time it?
Was it right?
Do you want to time it?
Was it
Do you want to time
right?
it?
Was it right?
Do you want to time it?
I've asked a simple question.
Was it right
yes or no?
according to whom?
To God. Was it right?
We don't believe that happened, my friend.
Okay, you don't believe it happened.
We do not believe it happened.
Okay, objectively speaking, if it happened, you don't believe
We don't believe that it can happen with the Prophet.
You don't believe it happened.
We don't believe it can happen.
Okay, you don't believe what? You don't believe a man can commit sin?
No, we believe.
You don't
that,
believe a prophet
don't understand what you see. This is where conversation deteriorates. You're not understanding what I'm saying.
I'm understanding.
You're not understanding what.
Prophets commit sin.
Okay, no
All
problem.
of the prophets commit sin.
No problem.
The only one who was without sin is Jesus.
Okay. Now you're, bro, please, yeah. Listen, what I'm saying to you is this. See how this guy came, yeah? He came. He said your prophet had sex with Aisha. We've heard that 1,000 times before
course,
the
yeah, great.
recycle tape.
We get
No
great.
problem. We came and said, okay, fine. This is where we are in the conversation right now. He said, because of your prophet's actions, people in the Muslim world, right? He said, people in the Muslim, numerous people in the Muslim world are having sex with women to the point where they can't even survive the first night. Yeah, correct? That's his argument. Therefore, because of that, Islam is not a good religion or whatever it may be because it's leading to this kind of action. I'm saying if it's the case...
It's not a question of whether it's a good religion.
Okay, whatever.
It's a question of whether it's the truth.
Okay, no problem. It's not the truth, therefore it's not the truth. Okay, no problem. Even stronger argument. Now here I'm saying this. If that is your argument, that some text of a scripture leads others to understand that it's okay to have sex with young females, then the text of Numbers, chapter 31, verse 18, which has been understood by rabbis for thousands of years, which says that take the young girls for yourself, enslaving them, number one, enslaving them, then having sex with them. That text, by the way, would have
to mention having sex with them. It says
What does it
them.
mention?
No, it says have them for yourself. I've never known a man before.
Okay.
The context was understood to the rabbis as allowance for sexual intercourse.
And that's why I asked the question, how many prophets in the Old Testament?
Now that's got nothing to do with what I'm saying.
It has.
So
it has.
if
we're talking about whether it's legitimized.
Do you see how it's done, bro?
No,
it's done. I'm sorry.
We're talking about whether it's right or wrong.
Jesus Christ is the author of the Old Testament, as you agreed that he was, then this commandment...
He said that Moses spoke of me.
It doesn't matter. He's still the author of
Jesus said Moses
doesn't matter. He's the one inspiring Moses because he's part of the triune God. You agreed to that before. Don't try and run away from it now.
I'm not running away from it at all.
Great.
I believe in the God of the Bible without a doubt. Make no mistake about that.
Your God, according to you, allowed men to take young girls and do whatever they want with them. Is that good or bad?
If you're looking at the Old Testament,
say it now.
Where God says, go and slay those people in that country. Does that mean murder is right? If I take that, is God sanctioning murder? No, he isn't.
Yes, he is.
No, he isn't. He isn't. So you look at the context of that.
Why not?
He isn't sanctioning.
Why not?
For the simple reason he's already said in the Ten Commandments that murder is wrong.
Yeah, but except in this situation. Except in the situation where you go and do genocide.
He said in this context there, the Ten Commandments, that murder is wrong.
It's wrong, but it's in this context where you're going into a new city with the Amalekites, 2 Samuel's, where you can kill everything, man, woman, child, and even the donkey. What are you talking about? What's worse, having sex with someone? It's arguable. I don't know what you're going to say. Having sex with a child or killing the child. I don't know which one's worse. I don't know. I actually don't know. Having sex with a child, when I say a child here, I'm talking, let's say about a 5-year-old. Let's say, 5-year-old. Having sex with a 5-year-old, is that worse? Or killing the 5-year-old, is that worse? Which one is worse? Are they both bad?
They're both bad.
This is the Old Testament. Did he command to killing children?
God commanded to kill people in the Old Testament, correct?
Including children?
God commanded, yes.
Is that right or wrong?
God commanded it. He's the author of life. God is the author of life.
You're done. By the way, you're finished.
It's okay.
By the way, you're done now.
God is the
You're
author of
finished now.
life.
You know you're done.
God in the
You know he's done now.
God is the author of life. So God in the Old Testament says,
finished.
go and kill them.
Yeah, so it's okay.
So
it's okay to kill a child.
That's what God says. That's what God says. But we're talking about the example
what are you
here.
doing here?
The example.
What are you doing in front of me?
The example.
What are you doing in front of me?
See, here you are.
No, honestly, what are you doing in front of me?
Yeah, I'm asking about your religion.
No, but you failed.
I'm asking. It doesn't matter about whether it's not about me failing.
You may leave.
You care. You
leave
care
now.
about your ego.
No,
You
it's
need
done.
a reputation.
It's done.
You need followers online.
I don't need it. It's
I
done.
don't need followers.
Okay, good.
I couldn't care less about
It's done- it's
followers.
done now.
I
It's
couldn't
done now.
care less about
Okay, no
popularity.
problem. You know me.
I'm
You know
pointing.
me, yeah.
I know that you need followers.
Okay, great.
And you need popularity.
I'm bad.
You know what? Islam will turn on you
Okay, no problem.
because you're such a gift against Islam.
Thank you.
Islam will turn
If I
on
was such a gift, you wouldn't be standing in front of me.
you. Islam will turn on you.
Cross.
All the people, all the people who are laughing and supporting you today, I'm telling you now, they're going to turn on you.
Okay, let them.
Islam will turn on you. The same people will
Okay, so
turn on you.
summary.
The summary is this.
Summary is
The
this.
summary is this.
Summary is this.
There are little girls today who are dying today.
There were little girls a couple of thousand years ago got murdered.
Summary, he just admitted
he did.
that so long as his God says it,
There are little
killing
girls
a
today
child
who
is
are
alright.
dying.
Killing a
They're
child is
dying
alright.
today
Killing a
because
child
they're
alright.
following the example of your prophet.
So it's okay.
Your
so long
prophet married a 6-year-old
it's done
girl.
now, bro.
Who went on
and
to
then
be a
had sex
general
with
and a
her
leader
when she
and
was
a
9.
massive
Did
female.
Jesus do that?
Okay.
Jesus didn't do
commanded
that.
to kill a child, though, right?
Jesus did not marry a child.
Did Jesus command to kill a child?
Jesus didn't lie.
Did Jesus command to kill a child?
Jesus
Yes or no?
didn't kill anybody.
Did Jesus command to kill a child?
Jesus didn't kill
Hold
anybody.
on, that's
Answer
not
my
how it
questions. Answer my
No,
Answer my
if
question.
I
how it
tell
works.
you to kill someone, you go kill someone. I could turn and say I didn't kill him, but you, and then the law will come back onto me saying I'm part of it because I set you up.
Of course, yes.
So if Jesus
But
told you
Jesus-
to kill
but
someone,
Jesus didn't
he's
tell
part
us-
of the murder.
But Jesus didn't Jesus didn't kill anybody. He didn't marry
I'm
any
asking
child.
you,
No,
is
that's
did
stupid.
Jesus ask to kill it? Did Jesus command the Amalekites to be exterminated?
Again, you're talking about the Old Testament.
Doesn't matter.
It
Did he
does
do it?
matter.
Did he
does
do it, yes or
matter.
no? Did he
It
do it,
does
yes or
matter.
no?
Doesn't.
Because
Did he
those
do it,
people
yes
are
or no?
coming against the
See,
people
look,
of
he doesn't
Israel.
want to answer.
It does matter.
Does he do it, yes
It
or
does
no?
matter. I've already
Did he do it, yes or
I've already answered
Did
that.
he do it, yes or no?
I've already
Yes or
answered
no?
that. I've already
Yes or
answered
no?
that.
Yes or no?
Where I said God
It's not true anyway. He
commanded
said they were coming
God
against you.
commanded them to go and kill them.
Did he do it, yes or
I've
no?
already answered that.
Did he do it, yes or
I've
no?
already answered that. God commanded them to go and kill them.
Including
God
the children.
go,
Why didn't
kill
God
them
just
all.
kill him himself?
That's what he
It's
said.
just God.
Okay?
It's just God.
When God.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Hold on.
So
God,
Jesus
God,
commanded to kill a
God can kill if he wants to, because he's God. He can take
But you
life
just said-
and he
you
can
just
give life.
said he can kill if he
Here's
wants
the
to.
here's
So
the
you get someone to do that whole
here's the
video.
example.
What can we say?
Here's the example.
Well, I just let him talk, bro.
God sent a flood throughout the world. The only
he doesn't
people who
need man.
survived, the only people who survived was Noah and his family. It is God who killed everybody.
The camera.
God can do everything. It is up to God. God gives life and he can take away life.
It's done now,
God can do that.
Anything else you want to say to me?
I couldn't care less
Have you got
about
any more questions?
popularity.
Well, he
Any more
knows,
questions?
that's
I
why he's
couldn't
going
care
to
less about
preach him, man.
popularity.
What's that got to do with
Regarding Aisha, she was engaged to Mut'im bin Zubayr and
don't defend it. Don't
No, no,
defend
no.
it.
Please don't say she wasn't.
all
Please don't do it. Don't say she
He's
wasn't
on the back
lying.
foot. Leave him.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Don't be-
I don't lie.
say that.
Okay, I don't
No,
lie.
it doesn't matter. But he wasn't going to say that.
He wasn't going to lie.
He's weak.
He's going to destroy. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm glad.
at the time
I'm so glad I'm weak.
brought it up.
You
says
just know you've lost the
God,
argument.
I couldn't care about winning, scoring points, or being popular.
No, but it makes
What
a massive
matters-
difference.
what
You're
matters-
responsible with your info.
What
The
matters?
information you're putting
What
out there
matters is
is
the
responsible
truth.
for people.
What matters is
condemning
the truth.
them
What
to
matters
hellfire.
is your so-called
And you
prophet,
don't care.
Your so-called prophet, okay, married a child.